Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome you all student for our chemistry lecture chapter number 6, that is your chemical kinetics. This is our fifth part of chemical kinetics. In the last lecture we have completed integrated rate law for the first order reaction, unit of rate constant for the first order reaction, half-life of the first order reaction, half-life and rate constant of the first order reaction. After that, graphical representation of the first order reaction is there. In that, three graphical representation is there. We are going to study that later onwards. All the graphical representation we are going to study simultaneously. Today we are moving further towards example of first order reaction. As we know, the order of any chemical reaction is determined experimentally. So these are the examples which have been given over here. Hydrogen peroxide, when it is being reacted, it gives you water and oxygen. Here the rate of the reaction will be equal to K, concentration of hydrogen peroxide, that is your reactant. As there is no power over here, it means that it is a first order reaction. The another example is of N2O5. When it is being reacted, it gives you NO2 plus O2. Again here the rate of the reaction is of first order, as rate is equal to K, concentration of the reactant. As there is no power, it means it is 1. So these two are the example of first order reaction. Now we are moving forward towards integrated rate law for gas phase reaction. As we know that the reaction occur in various phases, either in solid, liquid or gases. Now we are going to study the integrated rate law for which phase? For gas phase reaction. Let's see how it's occur. So your student, for the gas phase reaction, A is your reactant which is being reacted and it is in gas phase. It get converted into B and C. Again the product is in the gaseous phase. Your reactant is in gas phase and the product is in the gas phase too. Let us assume that initial pressure of the reactant A be Pi. What is the initial pressure? Initial pressure of the reactant A be Pi. And as the time extends, as the time goes on, the pressure Pi get decreases by X. Fine. The pressure of the reactant A get decreases by X with time T. Fine. So Pi is your initial pressure and the pressure of reactant at time T will be Pi minus X. Fine. Now here, what will the pressure of the product P and C? It will be equal to X. How it will be equal to X? Suppose phi is the numbers of the reactant A initially. Phi is the, I'm just giving an example. Phi is the initial pressure of the reactant A. With increase in time, at T time, that the pressure has changes to 3. That pressure has changes to 3. So how much there is a decrease? How much there will be decrease? There will be the decrease of 2. So that value will be the pressure for B and C. So your student, whatever x has been decreases, here whatever x has been decreases, that will be the pressure for the product B and C. So x is the decrease in pressure of the reactant X at time t. Initially it is Pi minus X. So that X will be the pressure of the product B and C at the time t. So Pp and Pc will be equal to X. Fine. What is the pressure of the reactant Pa? It is Pi minus X. Pi is the initial pressure. X is the decrease in pressure of the reactant A within time t. So Pa will be equal to Pi minus X, and Pb will be equal to Pc, which will be equal to X. What is the total pressure at that time t? Total pressure means pressure of the reactant plus pressure of the product. So we are adding it. P is equal to Pi minus X plus X plus X. Pi minus X is the pressure of the reactant A at time t. X and X is the pressure of the product B and C at time t. Minus X plus X will be cancelled. What is remaining behind? Pi plus X. Pi plus X. So your total pressure P will be equal to Pi plus X. Let us rearrange the equation. As we rearrange the equation, X will be equal to P minus Pi. So your student, X we are getting, here minus X plus X will be cancelled. What value we are getting? P is equal to Pi plus X. We rearrange the equation, we are getting the value of X. X is equal to P minus Pi. So your student, we are putting the value of X in the equation 6.11, where Pa is equal to Pi minus X. As we substitute the value of X over there, we get the equation here Pa is equal to Pi minus P minus Pi. Fine. So here we open the bracket, Pi minus P. Here minus Pi will be converted to plus Pi. Why? Because minus minus is equal to plus. Solve the equation. It is a very simple equation. Simple mathematical terms. Pi minus P plus Pi. Take the Pi together. It will become 2Pi minus P. Here, fine. We are getting the value of Pa, which is equal to 2Pi minus P. As we know the integrated rate law, K is equal to 2.303 upon T log to the base 10 A naught upon AT. This is your integrated rate law. Now here student, the concentration now expressed in terms of pressure. We are expressing the concentration in terms of pressure. So your initial concentration A naught will be equal to initial pressure, which is Pi. Fine student, A naught will be equal to Pi and AT will be equal to Pa. AT will be equal to Pa. What is the value of Pa? We have find out the value. Pa is equal to 2Pi minus P. So we are substituting these values in the integrated rate law equation. So that the integrated rate law equation changes to K is equal to 2.303 upon T log to the base 10 Pi upon 2Pi minus P. This P is the total pressure of the reaction mixture at time T. So here student, we have find out the integrated rate law for gaseous phase reaction. It is a very simple reaction. We are supposed to take initial pressure of the reactant A as Pi, and the change in the pressure of the reactant A at time T will be Pi minus X. Why? Because there is a decrease of X pressure within time T. So your PA is that for Pi minus X, PB and PC is equal to X. We are taking the total pressure. We are getting P is equal to Pi plus X. Rearrange the equation. X is equal to P minus Pi. We are substituting the value of X in the equation. PA is equal to Pi minus X. On substituting, we are getting the value of PA, which is equal to 2Pi minus P. We know the integrated rate law equation, that is K is equal to 2.303 upon T log to the base 10 A naught upon 80. Now we are taking concentration in terms of pressure. So A naught is your initial pressure, will be equal to A naught is your initial concentration, will be equal to initial pressure, that is your Pi, and AT is the concentration of the reactant at time T, which is equal to Pa and which is equal to 2 Pi minus P. These value we are substituting in the integrated rate law equation. We are getting the equation K is equal to 2.303 upon T log to the base 10 Pi upon 2 Pi minus P. So here we are getting the integrated rate law equation for gaseous phase reaction. Understood student? This is a very simple equation and very easiest mathematical terms are involved in it, and we are found the integrated rate law for gaseous phase reaction. Now we are moving towards integrated rate law for zero order reaction. What is zero order reaction? This order has been determined experimentally. Now rate of zero order reaction is independent of the reactant concentration. The rate is not dependent on the reactant concentration. It is, remember, the rate of zero order reaction is independent of the reactant concentration. So here student, integrated rate law for zero order reaction. As we know student, here the rate of zero order reaction is independent of the reactant concentration. So for zero order reaction, where A is your reactant, it is being reacted, it gives you the product P, and the differential rate law equation is given by dA, that is your rate is equal to minus dA upon, your student, it is dt. It is not concentration of A, it is dt. Minus dA upon dt is equal to K A naught. As we know that A naught is equal to 1. Concentration A naught is equal to 1. A to the power 0 is equal to 1. So K, concentration A to the power 0 will be equal to K. So here it changes. It is K into 1 will be equal to K. Fine. So dA, on the above reaction, we have rearranged the equation. A simple rearrangement has been done. dA, here it is in the division form, it will go over here, it will turn into multiplication. We are removing minus sign from here, so minus sign will come over here. Fine. So dA will be equal to minus K into dt. Fine. Now we are integrating between the limits. We are integrating between the limits. A is equal to A naught when A will be equal to A naught when T is equal to 0. And A will be equal to AT when it will be AT when T is equal to T. T is equal to 0, it means the initial concentration. T will be equal to T, it means the concentration of the reactant A at time T. We are applying integration over here between the limits. So dA, here dA is there, we are integrating it, A naught to AT minus K is your constant, we are taking out outside, integrating it to dt 0 to T. Fine student. So here AT minus A naught will be equal to minus KT, because here T will be minus KT plus minus KT, K into 0, it will be 0. So here we are getting, we have done it previously also student. So here this will change to minus KT and here it will change to AT minus A naught. On rearranging the equation, we are just rearranging the equation, KT will be equal to A naught minus AT. This is the integrated rate law for zero order reaction. Remember student, here we are taking rate is equal to, we are taking the differential rate law equation, rate is equal to minus dA upon dt, which is equal to K A naught. We are just rearranging the equation, dA will be equal to minus K dt. Integrating between the limits, apply integration between the limits, we are getting AT minus A naught is equal to minus KT. We are just rearranging the equation, we are getting KT is equal to A naught minus AT, and this equation is the integrated rate law for zero order reaction. Now units of rate law of zero order reaction. As we know, KT is equal to A naught minus AT, which is the integrated rate law for zero order reaction. We are just rearranging the equation. We are moving K is in the multiplication, K and KT is in the multiplication form. When T is moving towards the another side, it comes in the divide form. So K is equal to A naught minus AT upon T. So here student, as we know, C is equal to, data concentration C is equal to N upon V. N is in the mole form, V is in the L form. When we are replacing L, it comes dm3. Fine. So we are rearranging the equation of integrated rate law for zero order reaction. We get the equation K is equal to A naught minus AT upon T. The unit of concentration is mole per liter. If we are replacing liter, it will be dm3. So these are the two units of K of zero order reaction. Upon T is there, so we are taking it T. We can write it mole per liter into per T, or we can write it mole per dm3 per T. So this is the unit of rate constant of zero order reaction are the same as that of the rate. What is the rate constant of zero order reaction? It is mole per liter per T, or mole per dm3 per T. Now we are moving forward towards half-life of zero order reaction. Half-life of zero order reaction state. The rate constant of zero order is given by the equation K is equal to A naught minus AT upon T. K is your Rate constant. Fine. As we know, the integrated rate law for zero order reaction is Kt is equal to A naught minus At. We are just rearranging the equation. We are getting the rate constant, that is your A naught minus At upon T. Now what we are going to find out? We are going to find out the half life. What is half life? To you remind student, we have studied earlier, half life is the time required for the reactant concentration to fall to one half of its initial value. What is the concentration of the reaction at its initial position falls to the half, that is your half life of reaction, and that is the time required for the reaction to fall to one half of its initial value. So here we are considering T is equal to T half. Fine. What we are considering? We are considering T is equal to T half and AT is equal to A naught upon half. This is your A naught upon half. Fine student, it is not A 1 by half, it is A naught upon half. Why? Because the initial concentration of the reactant is A naught, that has changed to A naught half. At time t, we are taking t is equal to half, so AT will be A naught upon 2. Substitute this value in the above equation. So K will be equal to A naught minus A naught by 2 upon T half. A naught by 2 upon T half. Here student, what will happen? A naught is there, minus A naught upon 2 upon T half is there. Fine. We are taking the LCM of it. As we are taking the LCM of it, here we are supposed to multiply it by 2 and divide it by 2. So A naught, 2 A naught upon 2 minus A naught upon 2 will become, yes or no? Yes. So it will change to 2 A naught minus A naught upon 2, and here comes T 1 by 2. Fine. So 2 A naught minus A naught, what will be? It is A naught. So we are getting the value A naught here. Fine. And here 2 into T half, we are getting the value here. Understood student? This is a very simple mathematical terms. We are taking the LCM of it. We are multiplying and dividing it. Just for how we are taking the LCM, to A naught upon 2 minus A naught upon 2. 2 will come downside, and 2 A naught minus A naught will be equal to A naught. We are getting the value A naught over here, and here 2 into T half. Fine. So here student, we are getting Tk is equal to A naught upon 2 into T half. So we are getting the rate constant of the above equation is equal to A naught upon 2 into T half. On rearranging the equation, T half will be equal to A naught upon 2 into K. This is the half-life of zero order reaction, which is proportion to the initial concentration of the reactant. Fine. So T half is equal to A naught upon 2K, which state that the half-life of zero order reaction is proportional to the initial concentration of the reactant. Now example of zero order reaction. Here student, the first example for zero order reaction, as we already know that the order of the reaction is being determined experimentally. So Here just we are supposed to know the example of zero order reaction. Decomposition of NH3 on platinum metal. Here the reaction has been given. NH3 ammonia, when it is being reacted, it gives you nitrogen gas and hydrogen gas. That ammonia has been decomposed on platinum metal. As we know that the metal surface get completely covered by a layer of ammonia molecule. The metal surface, whatever your metal surface is there, it get covers by a layer of ammonia molecule. Here a number of ammonia molecule attach on platinum surface. Your platinum surface is there, numbers of ammonia molecule is attached. And these is small compared to ammonia. Fine. So a large number of ammonia molecule tends to remain as gas which do not react. Here ammonia molecule, they are not been reacting. They are in the gaseous state. So the molecule present on the metal surface only react. Whatever the molecule which is present on the metal surface, they will react. So the rate of a reaction was thus independent of the total concentration of reactant, that is the ammonia, and it remains constant. Fine student. So here a large number of ammonia molecule which tends to remains as gases in state will not react. Who is going to react? The molecules present on the metal surface. So the rate of a reaction was independent. As we know, the zero order reaction rate is independent of the concentration of the reactant. So here student, the rate of a reaction was independent of the total concentration of ammonia and it remains constant. So this is an example of zero order reaction. When ammonia is reacted, it gives nitrogen and hydrogen gas. The next example is decomposition of nitrous oxide N2O in the presence of platinum catalyst. Here nitrous oxide, it reacted, it is in gaseous state, it get decomposed into nitrogen gas and oxygen gas. It decomposes into nitrogen gas and oxygen gas in the presence of platinum catalyst. We are using platinum catalyst to decompose nitrous oxide. Thus the rate of a reaction here was independent of the concentration of the reactant. Here the decomposition of nitric oxide occurs. It gets decomposed into nitrogen and oxygen gas in the presence of platinum catalyst. So this is an example of zero order reaction. The third example is the catalytic decomposition of PH3 on hot tungsten at high pressure. Here decomposition of PH3, that is, it occurs in the presence of high pressure. Again, here the rate of a reaction was independent of the concentration of the reactant. So, student, these are the three examples of zero order reaction. So, here student, today we have studied example of first order reaction. Then we have moved towards integrated rate law for gaseous phase reaction. In that we have obtain the equation k is equal to 2.303 upon t log to the base 10 pi upon 2 pi minus p. Then we have moved towards zero order reaction. In that we have find out the integrated rate law for zero order reaction. What equation we have find out over here? That kt is equal to a naught minus at. And then we have studied unit of rate constant of zero order reaction, then half-life of zero order reaction, finally example of zero order reaction. Hope you all have understood. Inshallah, in the next lecture we are going to study graphical representation of first order reaction and zero order reaction. Then we are going to study pseudo first order reaction. Till then, study well, take care, thank you.